like that angle here. We're going to change that.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Check out the help section in your Ultimate Ears app.
Aries 92. I think I know who that is. Sana, Nicole, Danya, everyone on TikTok. What's going on, everyone? You guys like the tank top? Oh. You guys are going to find out here pretty shortly. Today is going to be a very, very different experience than what you or we may be used to on these live streams. Let me take away this backdrop. This is not going to be a tarot reading. This is not going to be a show. This is not going to be a production. It's just going to be what it's intended to be, which is a very lighthearted, easygoing, fun, and also just in-depth chat, okay, about some very important subjects. Those of you guys who are new, welcome to my channel, Science of the Soul and Stars. If you're returning, welcome back. Much love to everyone who's returning. My name is Brandon Tobias. It's an honor to have you here on my channel. And if you're new here, we are all about empowering you on a soul level to find and be inspired by your greatest soul purpose, typically through the vehicle of true love and the twin soul connection. And where we've realized, right, that heads all the time, always, is back into the self, right? And as we all transition back into ourselves, I figured it was time to start up something that's a little bit of a dream of mine, which is to have just fireside chats with one of my favorite beverages, coffee, good coffee, to just talk about spirituality and to answer questions and also to give back to you guys, because I feel like, you guys give a lot to me, and I'm grateful. And I've gotten the comment a few times like, hey, is there anything else, right, that you can do to just kind of answer questions or help us on this journey and where we're going? And that's what I want to do. That's who I am. That's what this is all about. So, hey, TikTok, if you're joining us live, welcome. This is not a collective love reading. If you want to see what's going on here, it's going to be all about having some coffee, having a good time, and answering questions, and talking about the subject at hand today, which is going to be the importance of darkness, actually. All right, let that sink in for a second. The importance of darkness, dark energy, what it is, why it's important, and why it's essential to integrating your own personal darkness into your life, into your soul, into this part of the journey for your own empowerment and freedom. Okay? Now, as per usual, as you guys may be learning with me, is the reason this is happening is because I've been guided to do so, right? My intuition has been telling me, and also this morning and last night, there was a huge opening that gave me a lot of information, a lot of clarity on the collective, the awakening process, what's going on, why it's happening, all of these things. And it was very, very, very insightful, and I figured I'd share a lot of that with you guys today. Yeah, if you guys want to grab coffee, grab your coffee and let's have it together. This is dark roast pour over. Very fancy stuff. But they did encourage me to share it with you guys. And I was going to share it on the weekly live stream on Sunday. And then something was like, you know what, this kind of feels a little different. This kind of feels like it should be something on its own. And then here's the new birth of this series, which is just coffee and spirituality, I guess I'm calling it. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. I want you guys to know this is going to be, it's going to be a bit of a teaching or a lecture of some sort, whatever you want to call it. But I also want to open it up as a discussion. It doesn't feel fully true or aligned for me to just be talking to you guys the entire time. I also want to be reading your comments, answering your questions actively, engaging with you guys in this way. If you guys disagree with the subject I'm talking about, if you disagree with the title, if you disagree with anything I say, please state so and state why, and we can have a conversation about it. Part of my whole being and philosophy and life generally is the opposite of censorship. I'm a very, I would say, radically free market kind of guy in all ways. And I like personal empowerment versus censorship of any way, shape, or form. And I encourage freedom of speech, freedom of expression in all ways, and healthy debate to see and discover what is right. We have 222, by the way, on the chat rate, concurrent viewers in chat rate. So there's still angel numbers. This is still a magical discussion of sorts. I hope you guys know. Even though Sundays are magical, collective twin soul reading, we've got 222 showing up here again. So always, right? This is guided. All right. So let me just start with, again, why I'm having this. What was the inspiration for doing this? Okay. So if those of you guys who saw my last YouTube reading, I talked about in the Twin Soul Collective especially, although this doesn't have to be for Twin Soul Collective. It could be if you're in a relationship, if you're not in a relationship, if you're in a Twin Soul situation, it could apply universally. But I personally realized this through my Twin Soul connection, through the awakening that I've received and had through the connection of the Twin Soul and True Love connection. But here's what happened is basically the reading came through, and the reading was all about ending your personal involvement with your twin, with the person that you feel is meant to be or destined to be in your life no matter what, but ending, ironically, the engagement you have with that person or the energy you're putting out to that other person. Okay, you guys follow me? Now, I want to be very clear about that is when I said that, it doesn't mean that you're ending the twin soul journey itself by ending your involvement with your twin. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean you're giving up on the journey itself. The journey isn't about them. It never was about them. It's always been about you. Since the very beginning, since the entire engagement started with your person, it's always been about you and the journey that you have been on to find yourself, to find your own personal empowerment, to find your own personal freedom through the twin soul journey itself, through the journey of true love itself, through the journey of relationship itself. It's never been about the other person. It never will be about the other person. It wasn't meant to be about the other person. Okay? And so finally, Spirit was like, and it came through in that twin soul reading of like, stop it. Stop your involvement with this person, for God's sakes. 10 of Swords, 4 of Swords, right? 8 of Cups, walk away. Which has been so confusing because it's like, oh, well, you don't want to give up, right? You don't want to give up on the journey. To walk away would be to give up. And to that I say it is the complete opposite. To walk away is to continue the journey where it's meant to go, which is about further exploration and a deepening of the exploration of your own self and the places that you don't want to go. Okay, you guys follow me so far? So it's exactly the places that you don't want to go, that you don't want to do, that are being called out right now for all of us, right? The most uncomfortable things that we don't want to do, we don't want to realize, we don't want to look at in order to go to it. Now, why is this happening? Okay, because the collective I channel for, I'm going to be honest, it's mostly light workers, mostly the divine feminine, mostly people who are very powerful in their ability to emit and to shine brightly for the world as an inspirational light, right? Would you guys agree with this or disagree, right? Most of you guys on here, you're light workers. I would classify myself too as a light worker, right? Someone who uses their light for the empowerment of others in the world, okay? So I can see how and why, if you guys see the title and go, well, why would I ever want to integrate darkness? Why would I ever want to even consider my own darkness or darkness in general for my own personal empowerment and freedom? But that is exactly what the subject is today. That is exactly the subject I've been guided to speak about today. And the very clear vision that I had this morning throughout and because of meditation that I'm going to share with you guys in a minute, what was channeled through during that meditation this morning. Apologies, I'm going to change angles here a little bit because I think I could be a little bit closer to you guys. Hopefully that's not too close here. Let me just make sure. All right. Now I'm right up in you guys' grill. Okay, so TikTok, we're going to put you just like that. All right. Okay, so the question is why? Right? So here's the deal. I'm just going to tell you guys what I experienced as a human, and then we can talk about it, and you guys can share with me what comes up for you. Does that sound fair? So I'm going to just share with you what happened from a human, what was channeled through to me this morning and last night. So I was lying in bed, I was meditating, and I was contemplating, I was releasing, my attachment to this other person, right, who I would consider my twin soul, and my involvement with her and this whole situation, and going, okay, well, now that that's detached or released or let go of, right? Where do I go from here, right? What direction? Like, do I go find someone else? Do I go on some other journey? What do I do? Where do I go, Spirit, right? It was all like all these different directions. And Spirit showed me these paths, okay? And it was like, okay, you have these paths. Here's these crossroads, okay, that you could go on. And they showed me like 2 or 3 of these little splits in the road, right? Like here was the main path that felt like a very solid, deeply etched, soul-intended path that I was on with this whole twin soul situation. And here's the kicker, right? I'll tell you in a second. And then there was all these little diversions, okay? And as I looked and I went down these diverted paths, hoping to find something new, hoping to find something exciting, hoping to find something equally as fulfilling as this mainly etched path, all I found was a dead end. Okay? All I found was that it splintered off into nothingness. And Spirit said, you can go down those paths. You can go down those paths. You have the right, the free will to do that. Okay? But we're here to tell you right now that it's all that's going to do is just kind of make things progress a little longer. Okay, it's going to take you the longer way. Okay? It's basically what it said, because it's like you're going to have to go this way, and then it's going to dead end, and then you're going to have to backtrack, and then you're going to have to get back on the path, and then you might want to explore another little diversion, and then you guys see that? But so it's still all roads, all choices. What they showed me, it's okay. All roads, all choices lead to the same path. You guys see that? All roads in your life, okay, if you're facing crossroads, they will all lead to the same destination, no matter what. Okay? And part of life is about choosing how you get there. You can take the long way. You can take the short way. Right? You can take the direct way. Sometimes it's funner to explore the long way. Right? Sometimes it's exciting. Sometimes it's what we need. But they showed me anyways to get back on path. You guys will find out when I'm drinking coffee, my mind goes really, really quickly. Faster than I can speak. So they said, okay, you can either stay on this deeply etched path that your soul intended, or you can go down these diversions, right? But no matter what you do, all paths will eventually lead to the same outcome, which is basically, and here's the kicker, okay? Here's what I really want to communicate with you guys. This is what blew my mind the most, okay? This next point. Because then I go, okay, well, what is this deeply etched path, Spirit? What is this deeply etched path? They showed me the path I was on, this deeply dark blue path that my soul wants to move forward with. Like, what is that then? Is that to be with my twin? Is that to be with someone else? Is that to change the world? What is that? And they said, no, it's none of that shit. Okay? That journey is about self-empowerment. Self-empowerment is what they told me. That path that your soul is choosing, it's not partnered empowerment. It's not true love empowerment. It's not relationship empowerment. It's self-empowerment. Okay? Which confused me because I go, well, wait. I go, Spirit. This is me talking to Spirit, by the way. I go, Spirit, what do you mean? I thought I was the Twin Soul Collective leader here. What are you telling me here, right? That it's not about that at all? And they go, yeah, that's what we're telling you. We're saying it was never about your twin, right? It's about your own self-empowerment through the journey of the Twin Soul True Love journey. Okay? And it's time to go down that path. All right? Which you guys will be seeing. As more content I put down, it's going to be more about self-empowerment, both within me and within the collective. Not about the other. Not about necessarily just love updates. Yeah, those will be there, right? Whatever we need to know, whenever we need to go there. But it will be about self-empowerment. Okay? Because that's the essential truth of what this is about. It's not about like ultimate union with your twin specifically in relationship in love. It's not about that. That is maybe a side effect, okay? That is a part of maybe that is a reward, I would say, like an ultimate reward of going down this journey, okay? But it's not the end destination. It's a part of the journey. You guys see the difference there? Okay. So then I was like, okay, all right, I'm taking all this in, right? And I go, okay, well, those other paths I saw, okay, I get it. I'll stay on this path for now. I'm going to go deeper into myself. All right, I get it. I'm not going to go try and, distract myself with these other paths, even though I could. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to go deeper into myself. I'm going to see what's there. Now here's where it gets crazy. Okay. Byproduct. Luis, I love that word. Thank you. A byproduct. Thank you for filling that in. A byproduct of the journey. So now here's where it gets crazy. And what's going to follow this part of this chat, I'm just going to tell you guys straight up, may be the most controversial thing, okay, that I've ever talked about, that I've ever said. Okay? Just want you guys to know that ahead of time, so no one freaks out. But I trust that you guys can handle it. That's why I'm telling you. And by the way, I will always be honest with you. I will never bullshit you about where I'm at, what's going on, what I'm feeling, what the divine wants me to tell you guys. So then they said, okay, if you go deep into yourself, if you're going deep down to yourself, into your self-empowerment journey, your next stage of development is going into the darkness, is opening up that side of you that is dark and allowing that to be integrated into your own self. Which naturally, of course, as a spiritual light worker, scared the crap out of me. I go, what? I go, what are you talking about? And by the way, this is all being channeled. Right? So I'm used to being, all right, these are higher beings coming through. I'm like, what? I'm like, hold up. I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean darkness? What is this? What is this? These things? And I go, yeah. So your path is to integrate darkness, to go into the darkness, right? No coincidence. A couple channeled messages ago, I will follow you into the darkness. I didn't really understand what that meant until now. All right. They're saying literally to go into the darkness. Now, here's where it's kind of crazy is I believe a lot of this collective watching, if you're drawn to this content, are being asked to go there, are being asked to open ourselves to that, to resonate with that. Because guess where our counterpart twin or the reflection of us, guess where they are? Guess where they have been? Guess what they are showing us? Okay? If you are in this collective and you resonate with being of someone who is purely of the light, a light worker, right? Someone who is inspirational, light, angelic, these great things, that's awesome. I resonate with that too. but you've been dealing with someone who is the complete opposite, who is coming from the darkness, who is more in the devil energy, who is the exact reciprocal of your light, of your angelic light. That is how it's meant to be. That is what is supposed to be happening. And here's the crazier part that they told me, because I thought it was all about, okay, well, great. If we're here, Spirit, and our counterpart is here, okay, great. We're supposed to bring them up with us. So now we can both be of the light. That's what I thought. Maybe some of you guys think that too, right? And they go, no, that's not exactly how it works, Brandon. Because guess what happens? If you both are here in the light, who the fuck is down here on earth doing work? Who the fuck is down here on earth actually empowering people who are in the darkness? Who the fuck is actually in the trenches, okay, knowing and having the power of darkness on their side to move things with their will, with their desire from source, from the light, for the highest good of all? Okay? You have to know. Here's what they showed me. They literally showed me how it works. Okay? This is going to blow you guys' mind. Okay? So, I hope you guys can see my hands. Here's the truth. Here's the real truth. Here's the real truth. Here's what they showed me. Here's which channel. Here's my truth, at least. Okay? Here's my truth. Disclaimer. What they showed me. So, darkness must exist first, or darkness has always existed first, okay, before the light. All right? It's the same thing as a mother's womb. The mother's womb is the darkness. All right? We all have inherent darkness within us. The mother's womb is an example of light being born from the darkness. You guys see that? So without darkness, there can be no light. All right? Without darkness, there can be no birth, okay, of creation, which is light. So darkness is an essential part of reality that must exist in order to substantiate the light, okay, and in order to give the light a vehicle to do its work, to do its light work. Okay? Because get this is even crazier. Let's say everyone was just all in the light and there was no darkness ever. Okay? Let's just imagine a world where there's... Can you sit for a second and imagine this. Imagine there's no darkness. Okay? And it's all light. What comes to mind? What do you guys envision? I'm serious. Like if we were to just eliminate all darkness all at once, okay? And it's just everything is light. What do you guys see? Okay. Good. I see happiness within all. What else do we got? We wouldn't appreciate the light. We got another answer. Ignorance before knowledge. Beauty. Boring world. Someone says no rest. Here's what I see. All right. If I were to imagine in my own mind, right, this is just my vision, my opinion of it. Okay. There would be nothing. There would be nothingness. It would just kind of fade into the void of nothingness. If everything was all light all at the same time and there was no darkness, we couldn't see the light. You guys see that? You can't see the light if everything is all light all at the same time. Therefore, light wouldn't exist. You guys see that? And empathic starseed, I'm totally, thank you for sharing that. She says, I'm literally so nervous. I think it's a she. It might be a he. I'm literally so nervous about this. I agree. Okay, this is not meant to be a comfortable chat. It never is with me, right? And I knew going into this, I'm like, oh God, like, am I really going to share this today? Am I really going to share the importance of darkness with my soul tribe, who is mostly these light workers? And they're like, absolutely you are, Brandon, because you're the one. You're the one who has to show them the next step, okay? Because the next step, I guarantee you, for most of us on here, is not continuing to sit up here on our throne of light. Okay? I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It's not about that. It's not our part of the journey. We've done that. Okay? We've awakened through the light. It's terrifying, Misty. It's scary. We've awakened through the light. Okay? But Spirit also told me there's two sides, two ways of awakening. Okay? There's two ways to awaken. All right? For most of this collective I'm channeling for, that is the people that are here, that are involved with me, we've awakened through the light. All right? That's been our life path. Now, ironically, what Spirit also informed me is that this collective might have also had a darker childhood or darker past. All right? And that's the reason why. Okay, so if you think about it, if you think about your past, what happened to you, who you were as a child, who you were growing up, just naturally, think about that. There's some darkness there. Is there not? In who you were before you became a light worker, before you were who you are now, which I know, mostly people who are awakened spiritual light workers. Who were you before that, though? What was your human self like? I'll just be honest. I'll be honest with all of you guys and myself. I was a liar. Okay? I could be manipulative. Okay? I could be greedy. I could be lustful. Right? I was a rule breaker. And I was a rebel. Okay? I'm being transparent with you guys. Hopefully I don't scare anyone away. Okay? But hopefully you guys have seen enough of my content to know like where I'm coming from. Now, what happened is through that past, I go, all right, I'm going to go fully to the light because of this darkness. Because I recognize the darkness inside of me, I'm going to go fully into the light, and I'm going to be all of the light that I can be, right? Maybe you guys have had a similar journey where you've gone, okay, I'm going to go fully this direction, all the way ascended into light. Great. Now, here we are. Now, here's the thing. That's one side of the collective. So they also showed me the infinity symbol, which I think I can draw here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So I'll just kind of hopefully I'm trying to get it for TikTok and for YouTube here at the same time. So if we look at the infinity 8 symbol, right? It's two sides. Let's see if I can draw this here and then meeting back in the middle. I think I did it right? Here, meeting back in the middle. Okay. Which means that if you have two opposite but equal halves, i.e. the representation of you and your twin soul, or you and the rest of the collective, the other 50% of the collective, okay, half divine masculine energy, half divine feminine reading, or people, collective, right? Two different ways of awakening. Still awakening, you have to realize, but awakening in a different way. So whereas the feminine chose to awaken through the path of light, right? Because she is naturally darker. The masculine, guess what? Chose to awaken through the path of darkness. All right? Because what they revealed to me that was so mind-blowing was that darkness is just is an equally effective awakener to your truth as the light is. Okay? And we judge the dark. We judge it. I mean, it's here in me. It's here in all of us. Let's just speak it out. We all judge the dark. We go, I don't know, Brandon. I don't know if all those dark things are really a good thing or if they're okay. You know what I mean? I don't know if drugs and alcohol. I don't know if addiction. I don't know if, lustful sex with multiple people or whatever your representation of dark is. I don't know if that's okay, Brandon. Right? And I go, well, where do you think it's going? Where do you think it's going? If we're on an infinity symbol journey, both sides, the masculine and the feminine, okay? And one side's going up to the light, and the other side's going through the darkness, and we know it comes back around, where do you think it's going ultimately? Okay? So they showed me that, yes, we're judging the way that the masculine or the other half of the collective is awakening, but it's their path to awakening. The darkness is here to help awaken people as much as the light is. So it's not our responsibility to judge it, okay, or to condemn it, or to block it, or to resist it, because it's doing its thing. Okay? Now, I understand how controversial this may sound. Some of you guys may be saying, oh man, we lost Brandon. He's lost. He's gone. The darkness took Brandon. Be honest with me, guys, if you guys are thinking that. But, and it's okay, by the way. I'm joking. You guys can think I'm dark and you've lost me. I'm going to read these comments in a second. Okay. But anyways, my point is, it's the darkest times in people's lives. It's the darkest times and the darkest experiences in people's lives that actually do the most to awaken them in the end. And I will say this, by the way, their soul chose to awaken in that manner. Okay? It's not like they had a choice, by design, by unconscious design to go, okay, soul, do I choose to awaken via the light path or do I choose to awaken via the dark path? And I choose the dark path. No. Everyone has their own way of awakening. Half of the collective is going to be through the darkness and then coming up through the light through the darkness. The other half is going to be through the light, okay, which is quicker, which then must go back down through the darkness, which is why we had I Will Follow You Into the Dark, for God's sakes, as the title of our video 2 channel messages ago. All right. So just let all this sink in for a second. So they showed me all of this. They showed me the infinity symbol. They showed me where and why the masculine or the other side, the counterpart of the collective, why they've been so dark lately, why they've been in that devil energy, why it's been so apparent that we've lost them. We haven't fucking lost them. They're on their way of awakening. They're on their own journey of awakening. And yes, it requires going through their own personal hell. Okay? So you have to know that. You have to be willing to accept that. And that it's a normal and acceptable part of life. Which brings me to my point about me personally, and maybe some of you potentially now needing to, if you feel this intuitive call and you've been feeling these truths in you, go into the darkness. All right. Okay. Now here's the part where I may lose some people, and that's okay. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know I'm a human. I share with you these spiritual experiences as a human with delicious coffee, so you know that I'm not BSing you. You know that I'm real. You know that I'm not some fake fucking guru. All right? The Fireflies 84. She's like, okay, I could just say Brandon uncensored. Uncensored is amazing. Uncensored. Yeah, that's because I had this realization. It's okay to fucking embrace the other side of who I am. And you guys can feel, I don't know, tell me if you can feel the difference. Can you feel the difference between pure Brandon of the light all the time and real light and dark, Brandon? Can you guys feel that difference? Okay. Seriously, I think that's a good question because you guys have seen me in the past. You guys have seen my evolution personally. Is this more empowered, would you say, after starting the process of integrating my darkness, or less empowered? You guys be honest with me, right? Because this is Spirit saying this is an example of what will happen in your own life if you do embrace the darkness. So if you don't want to be like this, that's fine. But I'm telling you, this is real ass dark and light shit that we're talking about in someone who considers themselves to be a light worker. All right? This is us exploring and venturing into the darkness. So you tell me. Okay? Yeah. Now, this is the subject. Catherine said, you seem more confident. Right? Danya says, one of my favorite topics. Pragya said, we like both sides. Firefly says, authentic. Riri says, more empowered, definitely, right? Absolutely, more diverse. This is because the darkness is the key to your personal fucking empowerment and your realness and your power to impact the world. Now, here's what I mean about integrating the darkness. If I was all light all the time, right, you guys wouldn't get this powerful version of me as a human speaking my truth, speaking powerfully, like in a real way. You guys wouldn't get that. You'd get the channeled version. You'd get the channeled objective version, which is cool. I mean, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I can do. But how much more powerful is it to integrate that objective light truth with the reality of human beingness that can now, on a more deep level, affect people, more people? Okay? There will be more people that resonate with this talk, okay, than just the tarot stuff and the love stuff. Okay? So, and I'm not asking this so I can get a confident ego boost, all right, whether or not you think I'm more empowered or whatever. I'm saying it so you guys can recognize, am I like off the rails, dark, like evil person? Like, am I, you know what I mean? No, I'm not. I'm just a more powerful human version of my light-centered, grounded self. And that's what's available for you guys too if you want to integrate your darkness. That's why we're talking about this. That's why I have this chat on about how and why to integrate your own darkness for personal empowerment and freedom. All right? It doesn't mean I'm going to go be, you know, an evil person and lose my way and, you know what I mean, like get lost. No, I have confidence in my own ability and my own light, by the way, to guide my way through the darkness. Okay? I trust that my light, my work, my confidence, my assurance in myself, speaking on behalf of all of us here, okay, for all you guys watching, will guide and protect me through my integration of the darkness. Okay, because one of the core fears here I'm getting and for the collective is that we'll get lost along the way. Likely, some of us, I know I have, some of us will have experienced getting lost in darkness. And it's not fun. It's hell, actually. It's hell on earth. And we have not been able to find our way out except by going through the light. Right? Which makes sense because that is what we've come to rely upon to keep us away from the darkness, right? That's why some of us on here will say, no, darkness is not okay ever. We have to stay in the light. We have to bring everyone to the light. No, it's not about that. It's not going to work, guys. You bring everyone to the light, there's nothing. There is no light. Okay? But the reason this exists is because we use the light to get out of our own darkness. Does that make sense? We use the light to find our way out of our own personal hell. So we've relied upon it now to stay up there. Okay, but Spirit is now very clearly telling all of us, at least those of you guys who I'm talking to, it's okay. It's okay to go back down. It's the most scary, uncomfortable, nerve-wracking, intimidating place we don't want to go as light workers. And it's exactly what is represented by our twin soul, by the way, which is why they are so scary in their own right, because they represent that darkness, that hell, that devil energy that we don't want to move towards because it's scary. Okay? Now, here's where, again, I mentioned this earlier. I think I was maybe subconsciously avoiding this part. But here's where it's going to get a little crazy, because I just saw 666 on concurrent viewers in chat rate, and those of you guys who have, watched my lives and things like that, we had 666 appear a little while ago, and I did actually bring it up. It's funny it appeared, right? We really got to go here, huh, Spirit? All right, we're gonna go here. You guys are getting the real shit. You can appreciate it. This is uncensored. Don't want to make this public, but have to because of this is what I'm here to do. So 666, it's a clear sign of the devil. All right, devil energy, Lucifer. Right, it's got that connotation at least. There's people that argue with that, but I'm recognizing it here at least, and clearly Spirit is as well as devil energy, specifically the angel Lucifer. All right. Now, here's again where it's going to be a little crazy, and I might lose some people. That's okay. When I was doing my meditation this morning, you guys know Archangel Michael is one of my primary guides, right? He's with me. I always call upon him. He protects me. He's on my right side. Yeah? Well, I didn't know that I had an angel on my left side until this morning. And when I was meditating, I actually felt the devil, like actually, literally, the angel Lucifer, okay, in my presence, in my energy, requesting to come into my energy on my left side. Okay. And if you guys know me, you guys know, I mean, I was like, what the fuck? What the... Like, no. You know what I mean? I'm like, and, I kind of leaned into Archangel Michael and I go, what? Okay, hold on. What's going on here? And everyone was just like, it's okay. It's okay. Just relax. All right. We know it's Lucifer. And Lucifer was requesting, right, to come into my left side. And I you guys may think I'm crazy. I spoke to him and I said, Lucifer, you can come in, but you better know that if you try to pull any shenanigans whatsoever, Archangel Michael is here to slay you, and I'm here with my own power of light to slay you the instant I sense that this is going a direction I don't want to go. All right? I'm serious when I'm saying I told him this. And he accepted the deal. Okay? So then I felt him come into my left side. All right? And so now, you guys can imagine I'm laying in my bed doing this meditation, completely in awe, by the way, as a human. And both angels, Archangel Michael on my right and Lucifer on my left, sitting there on my right and on my left. Okay? It's almost like, you guys know that they used to show in cartoons, like one angel on the right, one angel on the left. It was literally that, but in a actually happening. And I'm like, oh my God. And so I go, okay, what do you have, Lucifer? Why are you here? All right. And I felt safe to do this, by the way, because Archangel Michael was right here on my right. He's like, I'm here. Don't worry. So I let him in, and then he spoke to me and he said, look, I'm here to help you to awaken at this time through your inner darkness. He said, I want to empower you by helping to awaken more of your darkness so you can be the leader that people want, need, and expect from you. Okay? And he told me, people see more of the leader that you are representing currently. They see more inside of you. They see a deeper part of you. They see that darker part They want that darker part to come out. They want the realness, the rawness, the juiciness of Brandon. They want to bring that out. And they will see and respect more of that and more of you if you allow that part of yourself to be integrated. And I go, oh, wow. I didn't think of it like that. Okay. And he goes, yeah, it's real. I go, okay, well, that makes sense, right? And so I said, okay, well, what are you going to do? And he said, just let it go. Trust the process. Open yourself up. Okay. And what I felt was amazing. What I felt was this opening from my left side, pouring from my left side into my right side of my body. And this sense of personal empowerment and personal freedom to say, to be, to speak, to do what my desires, what I desire to do in the world. Because there was this feeling I had like, I'm not allowed, it's not okay for me to impose in any way my desire for other people or my desire for the world, or to impose my desire or my will upon others. That's not okay, right? There was this fear, this limiting belief in me. And what I realized was, wait a minute. Because there was a fear I would hurt people, right? There's a deep fear that, and probably from childhood, they didn't show me this part, but I'm guessing from childhood, something happened where I maybe did that. Actually, I know exactly what it was. I'm not going to share that, but I know what it was. Where I did that, where I imposed my desire or my will upon someone else and hurt them, right? What I perceived as hurting them. This is obviously when I was growing up, child. And I remember that memory specifically, and it shut down that part of me. It shut down that part of me that felt empowered or free to do that, to impose my will upon the world, to impose my desires upon the world. Now, here's the lesson, because some of you guys may be saying, well, of course that's not good, Brandon. Of course you shouldn't do that. Well, I thought the same thing. And then they said, but there's always another side to it. Yeah, you don't want to do that if you're violating someone else's sanctity, or if you're violating someone else's privacy, you're violating someone else's right to be or freedom, right? Obviously, you don't want to do that. That is genuinely a bad thing to do. I would not advocate for that. But he also said, but the other half of it is some people want you to do that. Some people are waiting for you to fill their desire through your imposement of your desire into their lives. All right? I know this might sound a little crazy, but saying some people need or want subconsciously for you to come through to impose your desire for them, your will for them, in order to change or impact their lives. Now, the scary part about this is only if you don't trust yourself. If I didn't trust myself to do that, right? Because let's say I did that, but I wasn't the light worker that I am, or I didn't have the light that I've now cultivated over these years. Well, that would genuinely be a bad thing, because I wouldn't be coming from a good place. But if I'm coming from that place of light, but giving myself permission to impose that desire upon the world, upon others who may want or need that at that moment in time, coming from a genuine place, well, that's a good thing. Okay? And of course, and you guys are free to disagree. Everyone is free to, if you guys disagree, say it in the chat. This is not going to be everyone agrees with Brandon. This is definitely that. It's not meant to be. All right. But that's what they showed me, is that, and you guys may question this too, because this is a thing. Like that's the limiting part of the light, is the light is there, right? But the light doesn't have the power to impose itself upon others. It's just there. It requires darkness as a grounding to utilize the light to take action. Does that make sense? It requires the darkness to impose itself upon the world to create impact, to create change, to create goodness upon the world. So it needs both. It needs both to make the most amount of impact in reality for humans on Earth. Okay? As long as you have that intention to come at it from light, all right, there can be a very positive aspect and impact from you imposing your desires, your genuine desires, your light desires on other people or the world. At least that's what they told me. Okay. Now, of course, right, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd probably have some mixed feelings about that. Maybe you guys have some mixed feelings. I think maybe impose is a strong word. Impose is a strong word of like, impose. Is imposing ever a good thing, right? But I would say more asserting, like asserting your will, asserting your desire, asserting your beliefs, speaking or expressing. Maybe expression's a better expression, because expression is just another word for assertion or imposing, right? It's like if you're expressing and people are receiving you, then you're still imposing your will or you're exposing your beliefs, imposing your beliefs. It's just the wordplay, right? The connotation of the word. Okay. All right. I can feel we're getting closer to the end of this chat because I'm starting to run out of energy. Oh my, how have we gone an hour already? This is like 51 minutes. Like, this is crazy. It blows me away, these rants that I get into. Okay. So now let me clear up the last part of this, which is going to be, it's going to make sense, I hope. All right. So darkness, right? So as we allow that in, oh, actually, let me finish the story because I think you guys, that was a cool story, right? So anyways, Lucifer is here. He basically sends this dark energy through my left side, goes through my right side, gives me the permission and the awareness of what empowered light energy or light with dark energy mixed will do for other people and for the world. Okay, which I'm showing to you guys now. By the way, this is dark and light energy being imposed upon you all. And you guys can tell me, again, is this a good thing? Is this a good thing that I'm imposing my will upon all of you here, talking about all this subject, or is it a bad thing? Because this is an example of it. This is an example of what that looks like, what that feels like. You guys tell me, am I violating your rights? Am I violating you as human beings by expressing and imposing my will or my beliefs upon you? Or does some part of you want that from me? You guys see that? That's what it is. That's what I'm doing. It's not some other weird thing. This is literally an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. So yes, the power of influence. So, okay. So anyway, I keep going on these side tangents. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for that though. So Lucifer sending this dark energy, empowering the right side, shows me the power of this. I'm like, all right, I'm down. Like, I'm going to integrate that. I'm good. Like, I accept that, Lucifer. Thank you for that gift. And I proceed to go through this, kind of process where I feel energy releasing. I feel new energy being replaced. And I feel all this change in my right side of my body. And meanwhile, Archangel Michael's here just watching the whole thing, chilling. He's like, all right, cool. And then Lucifer tells me something really interesting, and this is what kind of scared me a little bit. But now that I have the dark energy, I'm like, all right, I can handle this, right? I'm good. I ain't scared anymore. I ain't scared. And basically, he told me, he's like, all right, now that you have this, you actually have dominion. You have dominion over the dark spirits. All right, you have dominion over the demons to work for you for the light. Okay? This is where it gets really insane. And again, if I lose people, I lose people. But I'm just being real with you guys. He's like, you have dominion over the demons to help in your work of bringing people to the light. Okay? And you guys are probably just as surprised as I am to hear this and to say this. I've never experienced anything like this ever in my life. And I go, really? I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, right now, the collective is using darkness, or there's darkness in the collective, to ultimately wake their asses up and to help them awaken. And you go, oh, that makes sense. There's a lot of darkness out there. There's a lot of fucking darkness out there right now, right? 50% of the collective is using the vehicle of darkness to awaken. 50% of the collective is using, or was using, or is using, whatever you want to say, the vehicle of light to awaken. Okay? 50%. That's what they told me. Two equal but opposite halves. And he said, I'm doing that work through the darkness. If you want to be as powerful as you can be as a light worker or as a human, really, whatever you want to call me, here's this other half of control, right? And then from there, I was like, okay. And I spoke to the demons. I said, demons here now, it is commanded for you to assist in the process of awakening for those who need you most at this time. I command you now to assist in the process of ascension, to assist in the process of awakening for those who need you most, now and at this time. Okay. And also for my twin, I'm not going to lie. I was like, go help her. Because I realized, oh my God, like all this time I've been trying to like use the light to help her or light to help other people. But some people need that vehicle of awakening. You guys see that? Like there's different ways, there's different vehicles for people to awaken. Again, I said this already, but anyways, for some people it's not the light right now. Other people it's the darkness. So then I'm like, all right, well now I have both sides. Here, go do your work. Whatever you got to do to wake them up, that's your task. And now they went. And I said, if there's anything you want to do with me too, if there's anything that you want to assist with me in helping to awaken, go ahead. But just know we have Archangel Michael here. We have my light in case any shenanigans start to happen. This is me talking to them, right? So they know. And now this is just a powerful example of like, guys, there is nothing to be afraid of. I mean, if I can integrate and talk to Lucifer himself, right, for empowerment and for awakening and ultimately for light work, there's nothing to be scared of. It's just more of an awakening. It's a broadening of how we perceive darkness and light and the world and reality itself. Again, so that is why and how this is coming from. This is where this is coming from. For all you guys, wondering where the hell, this is where it's coming from. Okay? Okay. Now, and one of the last things I'll share, right, is, the reason why, if you're up here in the light and your twin soul is down here in the dark and they're fucking around in dark energy or they're in devil energy, right, or they're in that world, one, just know that that's their way of awakening. So there's nothing to be judging of, nothing to be afraid of, it's nothing to be condemning of. Absolutely not. Number two, the reason that they're there and the reason they'll continue to stay there is because you are up here and you refuse to move from the light. I'm just going to be real with you guys. It is now and forever will be a polarity of energy between you guys. So if you are here, guess where they're going to be and guess where they're going to stay. Okay? That's the truth. That's the truth. May not be pleasant, but that's the truth. Now, guess what now, too? If you want to bring them to the light, guess where you have to go, baby? Guess where you have to go? You got to go down to the darkness. And as you go down to the darkness, what happens to your twin? They go to the light. Okay? So I know this was a little crazy, right? A little unexpected of like, you guys always ask me, how do we help our twins? How do we help our love counterparts? How do we help the collective? This is how. Because remember, we are the leaders of this spiritual revolution. We are the leaders of this spiritual awakening. So we have to make the first move to pop the other side to where they need to go. So that's why we have the gift and the curse of awareness in this collective, so we know where to go. So I know where to go. So we know where to go. Okay? So I'm asking you, if you resonate with this, if this is sounding like truth to all you guys, this is making sense to you guys, don't be afraid to go there. Don't be afraid to delve into whatever that means for you, whatever darkness means for you, whatever that means. It could be anything. It could be anything. The first thing that pops to your mind as what's been coming into your life that's been trying to pull you into it, right? Trying to tempt you into it, we would say, through your desires to experience it. That's what I mean. That is darkness. That's darkness. That could be anything from sex. That could be anything from drinking. That could be anything from, tobacco use. Like there's a lot of things, right? But everyone has their own personal vehicle of experiencing darkness, all right? Okay. I'll be honest, mine is whiskey and a nice, healthy, organic cigarette, okay? That brought me down into my own personal temptation of darkness, right? So, and I was like, all right, I'm here. This is cool. This is a little uncomfortable for Lightworker Brandon, but feels right. It feels like medicine. I never thought that could feel like medicine. Okay? All right. And you guys should be excited. All right? Because look, that was it. That was the last thing. So again, the last messages were, all right, as we go down into the darkness, we help our twin to raise up to the light. And so everything's balanced. So the end, everything wants to be balanced. Obviously, and look, 666 again, concurrent viewers and chat rate. All right. I'll just be honest with you guys. You guys may not want to hear this. The energy of Lucifer is here. The energy of the devil is here. All right. Now, again, you guys can say this is bad because Lucifer's here, but that would be projecting your judgment of Lucifer, judgment of the darkness itself onto him, right? Because I personally don't think that this was a bad chat. I personally don't think that this was a bad experience. I would like to believe that everyone learned some stuff today, that we became more empowered, more powerful, more of who we are than less. And I classify that personally as good, even though the energy of Lucifer is here. And typically, classically, I would say Lucifer, the devil, is bad, scary, not good. Destroy him. Right? That was me. That's typically me. Okay. So anyways, that's the message for today. There's a couple things I got to say too. So not everyone that I'm referring to in this chat will be resonating with being in the light. All right. There's a lot of people that already are coming from or going through the darkness. All right. The dark night of the soul, the darkness generally. People who are saying that, wait a minute, Brandon, I was that. I already am that. I don't resonate with this definition of being a light worker only or always in the light. I know. That's because, again, the collective that we're channeling for is going to be, eventually it's going to be half and half. Right now it's mostly that. But there are some people in this chat who are saying, I'm actually already kind of in that dark energy, but I want to come out of it. That's perfect. That's exactly where you need to be going. All right. If you resonate and you know, and you're telling me, actually, Brandon, I'm the person who's dark. Okay. How many guys would say, be honest? Okay. You guys can say who that is. If you guys resonate with that, if you are the dark one already and your twin soul is of the light more. Okay. Or you view them as more of a light worker. Okay. Or you're both. You can be both too. Yeah. But typically there'll be, again, because there's polarity, there'll be one more than the other, right? It's not going to be exactly here yet. We're not there yet. But if you are on the opposite end, just know that as you move towards the light, all right, as you come out of that devil energy, that dark energy, move towards the light, right? then that's how you personally, right? If you do resonate with that part, bring your twin down with you to earth here so you guys can come into union. But you have to come towards the light, and they by default will come to the darkness. But either way, if you're listening to this, you are responsible for doing that because you know now. So you are meant to stimulate that connection. All right. And again, there will be people all in the spectrum. It's a spectrum. All right. I like to speak in black and whites, but it's a spectrum. It's just like gender and sexuality is a spectrum. Okay, they're showing me it's the same thing with darkness and light and our compositions. It's not like one of us is all light all the time and the other one's all darkness. That's like the extreme. Most of us are somewhere in the middle, right? But you just have to know wherever you're most predisposed to, you got to be going the opposite way. Does that make sense? It's like the North Node journey in astrology. Okay. So just notice, right? I mean, just notice after this chat, there's one more thing I had to say. There's so many things. This coffee is amazing. And I just bought a coffee machine, automatic super espresso maker. I'm super excited for that. It's going to change my life. What was I going to say? There's a couple things I needed to say, but I forget what they were. Thank you, Kelly. As long as you eat the whole bag, someone's eating dark Doritos. That was the reminder. Okay, thank you for that Doritos reminder. All right, so after this chat, here's what's probably going to happen. I'll just warn you guys ahead of time. You're probably going to be things that are more dark than light are going to be coming into your life as an opportunity to explore. Or you're going to feel more open potentially to exploring these things, whatever is your form of darkness or going that direction. And I would encourage you to consider the possibility or open yourself to that particular desire in order to explore that, because that is, ironically, at this time, as we've channeled this or talked about, whatever you want to say, this whole conversation, the correct direction. Oh, that was the last thing. Okay. So that was, there's a lot of last things, but as a kind of a last thing, again, they're saying the reason why this is needed right now for this collective of light workers, mostly light workers, is because, again, if we're up here in the light and let's say our twin souls in the dark, there's no personal mobility there. There's no personal mobility to express your will or express your desire to move, all right, for yourself, for your own life. Your twin is all about that shit. They've been expressing what they want, their desires, everything that they want, and moving towards that, okay, with full freedom, all right? Full freedom. You guys have sensed, right? That is what wants to come into your life. Because, again, if we're all light's kind of just up here. It's kind of just bouncing around. But with darkness integrated, now, boom, we can move, we can go, we can do, we can experience, we can assert, all right? So this is going to give you so much more personal freedom, personal empowerment, personal excitement, all right, for life again. And that is why, again, the recommendation on the last Love Tarot reading has been to stop your involvement with your counterpart, because it's not about them right now at all. It's about your journey, your self-empowerment, your personal freedom, your actions and desires asserted upon the world, and you going for that and going for them fully. Okay? And in order to feel fully free and empowered to do that, it's requiring the integration of that dark energy. Okay? All right. I think that's everything. I know we covered a lot. There was a lot that I had to get out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if there's any questions that come in and just answer a few questions. I won't take that long because I'm getting a little hungry. But one, I haven't read any comments really, so just I want to know, like, where you guys are at. Like, did you enjoy this? Did you find this helpful? Do you want more of this? Are you gonna leave me? Are you gonna ditch me because now I'm a dark? Because I've integrated Lucifer on my left side. Let me know in the chat what you guys thought, if you guys want more of this, and also any questions. Okay. I would love to hear. All right, we see some people. I enjoyed it, really resonated, inspiring and real. Cheryl's telling me, Brandon, please go within, decompress, pray calming and soothing, be energy for you to incorporate. I appreciate that, Cheryl. I definitely will do that. Super helpful. Keep it coming from here for it. Brandon, whiskey hour. Oh, we should do that. We should do that. We should do that. All right. I might do that one of these days. You guys will see. It'll be a surprise. Brandon whiskey hour. Saturday dark whiskey chat. Sunday live and light. That's funny. Oh, man. Michelle says, hard to hear, but I've already been sensing this presence in my life. Yeah. Look, and I totally resonate with that. I'm telling you guys have, go watch my content of the other. It's all light, right? This is uncomfortable for me. It's scary for me. How do you think I felt when Lucifer showed up? And he's like, you have control over the demons now. I'm like, what am I? Like, who am I? The magician. Okay, the magician. So that's the energy, by the way, the magician in the tarot. If you guys are into tarot, the magician. We want to become the magician. All right. Sun's out, guns out. Nice tank. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've lost a lot of muscle. Sana says I'm for whiskey and sex. I love you, Sada. That's why you're my moderator, which I didn't make you the moderator today, but that's okay. Yeah, let's let out our inner bad, okay? But just know, look, guys, don't go whatever. Do what you got to do, but just know you're not going to lose your way this time. All right, that's the last thing I got to say is you're not going to lose your way. We're not going to lose our way this time. We've delved so far, so deeply into the light that there's no risk to losing ourselves again. We will always find our way back home. Okay, we will always find our way back home. And if you need help, just tell your angels. Be like, hey, guys, is this cool? Can I go do this? Will you guide me back when it's time? Tell them. Serious. I told that to Archangel Michael. I said, hey, you watch my back if anything gets a little out of hand, okay? If I lose myself in this, bring me back, please. I literally told him that. So tell your angels. And they'll tell you if this is wrong. If this is wrong, they won't, And they're not malicious. Yeah, they're not malicious. I agree, Pragya. Thank you. Oh, man. Cheryl, you may be sensing my energy when I'm on coffee. Coffee's very aggravating for me, but it's also kind of a push forward for me too, which I really needed. So you can probably sense this chaotic sort of energy. And it's okay. I'm owning that. But I appreciate it. Do shots of whiskey every time someone comments on your hair? I would probably be dead within about 5 minutes. What's funny is someone for my birthday, which was in March, my friend gave me whiskey, funny enough, like a really nice bottle of whiskey. And I was very thankful for it, but I was like, I'm not drinking right now. Like, I'm not doing that, I didn't tell him this, obviously. This is to myself. Like, I'm not drinking right now, but I'll put it in the cupboard for when, if my friends ever come over and they want to drink. And I'm like, that's why I had to get that whiskey, right? It's really nice whiskey. Scorpio moon coming soon too. I didn't realize that. That's true. All right. Let me see. Are there any questions? If you guys have any questions, let them. Oh my God, 666 playbacks. That's crazy. I did see 222. I saw 444 and 666. So, and I'd be willing to bet there's some, the asteroid Lucifer. He's probably somewhere close by. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Let's see. Yeah, Pragus. Thank you, Praga. She says, I had a demon show up in a meditation in my copper ring, so I get that fear. But he didn't feel like he wanted to cause harm. I got the exact same feeling. There was no harm wanting to be caused. It was crazy. I'm like, this isn't malicious at all. This is helpful. It's empowering. I'm like, that's weird. I thought demons were supposed to be like bad. But then I'm like, oh shit, like they're actually here to help. The shaman and the magician, I really feel. Oh, by the way, I drew some cards. Oh, you know what? We are gonna draw some cards. Fuck it. We're gonna draw some mystical oracle shaman just as for fun. All right, to see what message Spirit has for us. Let me get my deck here. 1 second. And then we need to close this out. Yeah, look at the, if you guys look at the last cards I drew, okay, I'm going to show both YouTube and TikTok here. But I got the Time Master. Right underneath that is the Mystical Shaman. All right. These are from my personal reading. They were underneath the deck. It's the most recent reading. And then the Circle. And of course, obviously our favorite card, the Serpent. And the Hummingbird. Oh, that's what the other message was. Hummingbird. So the other reason, there's many reasons for this new integration of empowerment and darkness, but the other reason for it is for money. All right. It's to help us to manifest and create abundance in our lives too. Wow. Again, 666. That's insane, guys. Concurrent viewers chat rate with the Serpent. We're in it, guys. So yeah, anyways, the shaman, right? The shaman energy and the magician, both of those work with dark energies, just so you guys know. They don't just work with the light. They work with dark and light and manifestation. So again, it's another confirmation of darkness is required to complete the alchemical reaction that would allow for manifestation of abundance and desire. So long as it's coming from a genuine place, there's nothing wrong with manifestation of abundance and desire. Okay. Sana says, make a deal with the devil at the crossroads. What an amazing comment. I love that comment. All right. Spirit guides, angels, loved ones, masters. Lucifer, if you're here. Any guides and angels who are here? All right, I'm going to say any guides and angels who are here to assist in the awakening overall of this collective now. What messages do you have for us? Okay, through the power of unconditional love. What messages do you have for this collective here? Ooh, the Vision Quest. The Vision Quest. Let's see what else we got. The drum, water, the child, and lightning, and fire. All right. So underneath the deck, we have fire. Okay. Obviously a hellfire of sorts, right? The purging process. But the middle card here, right, what's standing out is this child. All right. Now, part of what the message here would be for you guys, for all of us, with this child card. Obviously, you can see this child. There's a lot of darkness. Actually, to me, it looks like there's a. Oh, whoa! This is crazy. Look at this card, guys. This is in the middle of the spread. Okay. Light over here. Darkness. I've never noticed that until this moment. Okay. And that is exactly what I felt this morning. Was I saw and felt the light on my right side, right? But this other side, the darkness wasn't there. It was nothing, right? But it came in. So what they're sharing basically is we have to have both sides integrated on both halves of our body. And it just makes sense to me, right? Left side of the body, where Lucifer came in, is the feminine side, the paternal side. Feminine energy is known to be darker energy, the energy of the womb, of creation. Masculine energy on the right, Archangel Michael, more of that light energy, right? Dark and light, yin and yang, okay? Light being birthed from the darkness. Light being birthed from the darkness. That's why feminine energy is more powerful than masculine, because it's where it comes from. It's the source of all creation, right? There's this myth, right? The myth out there is that light created everything. It's not true. Light was created from the darkness. This is some ancient shaman shit. By the way, I just realized this. On Monday, I began I paid someone who I would consider like pretty close to a damn shaman, like a modern shaman, taking lessons with him. And he's designed this whole initiation with me. So I'll be doing some, I guess it's perfect timing, right? I'll be delving into my shamanistic magician side. Anyways, let's move on to the next cards. We have drum here. Okay. So the other message here, quite simply, is for your unique offering to be presented to the world or to be given to the world. This is you and us and all of us utilizing the power of darkness to offer, to assert, to give, to share our unique offering to the world. And what I'm hearing here too is it's requires darkness integrated in to create the offering you are truly meant to create. Does that make sense? In order to bring in the abundance, because the other reciprocal meaning of this that I'm getting is the universe giving you all of the abundance and wealth that you could ever want to manifest. You guys see that? Right? So it requires that integration of darkness to find your specific creative offer or endeavor to give to the world, but also for the world to give you the abundance you want to manifest. It requires this darkness. So it's also about abundance, as I mentioned before. It's about abundance, okay? Vision. What do we want to do? Oh, there's one thing that came to me too, because the vision quest and the child too here. Okay. Wow, 722722 on the numbers. The vision quest and the child. All right. So it is about taking the time to explore, all right, and to go on a journey, a quest, an adventure of sorts in order to find and integrate the darkness. Now, what I'm hearing too is specifically this collective, there is stuff that happened in childhood or when you were growing up that made you shun the darkness, that made you run away, not run away, but go away from the darkness, right? Whether it was something that happened to you, an event, something you did to someone else, something that was just put upon you as a belief, right? There's something from childhood that is preventing all of us, or all of you watching, right? All of us, though, me too, from fully integrating that darkness that wants to come in. And they're saying to go explore that and just to discover what that is and to shift your perspective on it, all right? Because I'm getting the card Time Master too. So if you go think about that one event, let's say you're in the process of integrating your darkness, okay, but then there's this resistance that comes up to do that. You want to explore the resistance and why it's there. So let's say, okay, let's just as an example so you guys know what to do, all right? Let's say you're meditating, you ask for the dark, whatever dark, you say, all right, I'm ready to integrate some of my darkness, spirit. What do you got? You allow this side of you to come in, okay, whatever the form that takes for you. Then let's say another part of you, the light side, has resistance or fear to that, right? That's what you want to explore. Why is that resistance there? Why is that fear there? Is it because it's wrong? Genuinely? Or is it because something happened to you that made you fear that part? Okay? This is the essential question in order to do this successfully. If you explore why and you say, why is that there? Why is that fear there? It's terrifying, by the way. This is called shadow work. For those of you guys new to this is called shadow work also. If you ask yourself, why is that there? Okay. Why is that belief, that feeling, that fear there? Why am I having resistance to this spirit, soul? You can ask yourself. Then they'll show you. And they might show you in terms of a feeling. You might hear words. You might see a vision. You might see, it's different, right? But anyways, when I did this, they showed me a specific memory and memories actually from my childhood of me being dark or me asserting my will upon others and then hurting them. And they told me actually what you were doing was you were helping them to learn to defend themselves, which was an essential part of their life path. Okay. So I had a lot of trauma about this because I hurt them. It's bad. But it was unconscious when I was doing that, right? And I go, well, I'm a bad person for doing that. And they go, well, actually, you really didn't have control at that moment in time. You weren't conscious. You didn't have a choice. It was just your life path. So you hurting them was nothing more than what needed to happen for them and for you, because it was all unconscious. It was all arranged to learn how to say no and to defend themselves and to find their empowerment. And for me to learn what I'm learning now, essentially. Okay. So anyways, there might be something like that where you got to go back in and find that. All right. Take a vision quest. Last two cards we have lightning and water. Lightning and water. A lot of water here, yeah? A lot of blue and a lot of water. The message that comes here to me is you have to know, by the way, these are two elements, basically, electricity and water, okay? The first thing that comes to me is you have to know how protected you are through this journey, all right? Archangel Michael, this is his colors, actually. Now that I'm realizing it's blue, silver, gray, okay? I see some turquoise in here too. So this isn't some just human ego-driven dark kind of thing. This is actually literally an angelically led vision quest that we need to go on as a tribe of light workers here. And we are divinely protected. And the energy here is of Archangel Michael. It's light. Okay, this is mixed in with the darkness. You can see here, if you guys were looking at the spread, I can show you. Sorry, I don't have my other camera ready, but it's like half of it is this, right, protection and blue energy, and the rest is kind of, right, I don't know, you guys can't really see it, but darker energy. So, anywho, that's what I got for today. I think I'm going to start to close out here. But, again, let me know if you, in the chat if you guys want more of these chats. It feels like you got, I know I'm just asking that. It feels like you guys like this. I enjoyed it. It was fun for me, and I feel like this is going to be a whole new way of being, a whole new chapter. Don't worry, we'll still have our live collective tomorrow, as always, and it's, and who the fuck knows what is going to come through tomorrow? I have no idea. If this was what's came through today, we'll see. But let me just answer any questions if there's any prevalent ones here, and then I'll get off. So, and my twin's gonna be reaching out. Empathic Starseed says, "Can I tell him about this?" I honestly, I don't know why. What's coming to me is I would. If it feels right for you to share this with your person, go ahead. But honestly, what comes to me is like this is for you. This information, these revelations, like this truth that if you're agreeing with this is your truth. This is for you. This isn't for anyone else. This is for your journey, right? And maybe part of you would want to tell him this to see if it's okay, right? This is kind of the vibe I'm getting. Tell me if I'm wrong. But the vibe would be like, yeah, is it okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, twin, here's what I'm doing. Like, are you cool with this? Is it okay with you? Is it going to mess us up? It's like, that's the whole part of the journey that I'm talking about. It's like, it's doing things for yourself right now, outside of what anyone else thinks, wants, or feels for what's right or wrong for you. Okay. But if it feels right to tell them, obviously do it. But that's just that's what came up. Okay. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I love it, Sana. Sana and I are on such the same wavelength because I've been thinking about going to Vegas. Danya, you're welcome. Yunmi, thank you. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you and bless you. Michelle says, slapping me in the face again. I'm sorry. Bringing the whiskey shots tomorrow. No, I'm not going that dark yet. All right. You guys will keep me in check if I'm going way off the rails here. Oh, yeah. Empathic Starseed. That's exactly right. Go do your own work. Go do your own journey right now. It's not about the twin. It's not about the other. I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay. We'll do here's what we'll do, guys. In the future we'll do a when we have our big convention, or it's not going to be called a convention, it's going to be our Soul Tribe meetup. We'll have it we'll have a after party in Vegas, all right? Something like that. Well, we'll get to explore and balance out the dark with the light. All right? All right, guys. Well, so much love, so much light. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for holding space for this chat. Truly, I had a blast. I'm going to go probably get something to eat and rest a little bit, maybe go for a run and a workout. But I appreciate it. And again, whether or not you agree, that's okay. You're free to agree or disagree. This is all about freedom of expression and uncensorship. And I believe this is what we all need right now as human beings, is to just open this can of worms up, particularly in the spiritual lightworker community, to help with our progression now and in the future. All right? All right. Yes. Capri Tarot says, would you say you give away your power when you focus your shadow work on your twin? Absolutely. 110%. Okay? 110%. That has been the lesson that I have learned and we have all learned. That is not your responsibility, and it's about your work. Right now, particularly. If you did in the past, I'm not saying that was bad, right? I've done that. I think we've all done that. I'm saying right now, moving forward, no more of that. Like, it's about us. It's about our path, our empowerment. This whole journey that we're on, this whole reason we're involved with this person is to find ourselves, to empower ourselves. Okay. All right. You guys can tell my voice is losing its energy, so I'm depleting myself. So I'm going to end it now. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully this week as well with another one of these chats or whenever I feel called. All right. Have fun. Be safe. Remember, Archangel Michael and the angels are with you. All right. And let me know how it goes. Keep me posted. All right. Bye for now.